Okay, good morning, everyone. So we're back to our Happily Married by Rav Zamir Cohen. And we are now chapter 10 actually, page 97. It says, helpful tips for married life. When the first argument crops up between a couple, both become alarmed and feel pressured, and sometimes even shocked and bewildered. We're fighting? Can it be that I have reached the stage where I exchange angry words with the person supposed to be the closest to me? Yeah, imagine what a shock to a woman. Yeah, when she gets this, man, he's in the world of, of fights. A woman, first time she's in an argument, she's thinking, what's going on? He says, but one can use the disagreement to be it the first or even later one, as a tool to reinforce matrimonial harmony. How? It is an opportunity to recognize and to learn what is so important to the spouse that he or she is willing to argue about it. Is it an opportunity to make a switch in how to act towards your spouse so as to avoid stepping on toes or landmines that cause that argument? Meaning this is the first argument that happens, you have to see what is so important, whoever started the argument, that it was such a big thing for that other individual that they started an argument about this. He says, envision cars traveling on a highway, some passing others without engaging in a conversation, or either one paying any attention to the other. Under which circumstances will they notice one another? Meaning, when we're driving, do you ever see who's next to you? Not really. It says, when will you see the person next to you? If one car happens to scratch the other, both drivers will pull over to the side of the road and exchange names and phone numbers and talk, right? Only when there's friction will you now be like, oh, pull over, right? Let's see what's up. He says, what brought them to the exchange of words? A collision, a piece of good advice, especially during the first year of marriage. When both sides are tense and have begun arguing, it is to wait until you are alone, perhaps at work or outside the house, and review exactly what happened. Let the husband say to himself, this argument is pointless. Indeed, I see the issue means so much to my wife, although I wasn't aware of it until this argument. If that's the case, I have to try harder in that area so as not to provoke another clash. I must try to avoid hurting her and focus on her making her happy. Yeah? He can then decide to call her up and say, I think it would be a good idea for us to go out tonight to a quiet place, to a park, or to a seashore and have a good talk. I think we should turn off our cell phones as well. For instance, a woman get married, all of a sudden, her husband's like, okay, I'll be back. Be back? And she's like, where are you going? My friend has to whatever, this and that. She's like, okay, maybe this is a one-time occurrence. And all of a sudden she sees, every once in a while he's with his friends. And this hurts her. So she starts to get into an argument. He's supposed to sit down and say, okay, listen, what bothers her? Obviously me going out with the friends bothers her. And this happens to be a very big case amongst a lot of marriages. Where,
I went into marriage.
Yeah? Yeah? What?
No.
Absolutely. But you're the normal guy. You're the normal guy. The non-normal guys, you know what they say? What? My friends versus my wife? For sure my friends. Ibi, they're my buddies. My druzia. Yeah, I've been with them for years. You hear? Well, you just moved out of the neighborhood. So, no, but it's a big problem where there's hardly any time to spend quality time with the wife. Can you imagine when you have friends involved? And you're sharing your quality time with the friends? It becomes a big problem. So he's saying you have to sit down and understand, where is my wife getting upset? Once I understand that, try to tackle the issue. If it means to get rid of your friends, guess what? You get rid of the friends. That's it. Why? Now you have time for the wife. Exactly. He says, such an overture already serves to ignite a spark of hope in the wife's heart. She is surely upset about the argument. She will be thrilled over his invitation, and her mood will already have taken a turn for the best as she goes about the rest of the day doing her tasks. One of the things that a woman loves to hear, and that's what he's saying is, sweetie, I'm sorry that I caused this and this of a problem. Whatever it is, even if it's something that's years ago, they really want to hear this word, I'm sorry. Why? Because it's a closure for them. Yeah. By us, we think, what do you mean? It's something that happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 months ago. They need that closure to be able to like get it out of their heart. Yeah. He says, when he enters the house, he may still feel a bit tension in the air, but getting organized to go out will make them both feel better and improve the mood in the house. We find them having settled themselves in some quiet, pleasant place and beginning to talk. A relaxed conversation is in a serene setting with the husband according his wife his undivided attention, accompanied with a mild apology for the argument and a promise to try harder to avoid reaching this point of disagreement, can actually transform the crisis into a platform for strengthening their mood. Meaning, he says, what? He says that
it's never like an argument.
Oh, no, you're right. But
we say that if you're not arguing, there's a problem.
Oh, good. So what does he say? Each argument, you find out what's the crux of it. Exactly, and actually make a good thing out of it. Where he's not, you know what? Sorry, sweetie, you're right. It was my fault. I shouldn't have went with my friends. Yes, sweetie, you're right. I shouldn't throw my shoes when I come home like this. Yeah, some guys come in and, okay, I'm home. Trats, and the shoe goes one over here, one over there. Yeah, and let's say she gets bothered by that. Yeah, and she creates an argument. Yeah, for it. Don't start telling her, what do you mean? I come home tired. I can put my shoes anywhere. This is my house. What are you getting on my nerves about this for? Yeah? And this is for everything else that might be in that package, not only shoes, right? So he says that this could be a catalyst to actually connect with her. How? After it happened, you say, sweetie, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to control my shoes, control my socks, control my whatever. Yeah? My wife has me a problem when I put my jacket or coat on the chair that I sit on. I said, listen, I'm in and out. Yesterday she's like, it's going to be soon. You're going to overtake all your chairs, like that, See, all the chairs. She doesn't like it, But I'm like, to put in the closet, take it out, put it in the closet. You come, mincha, take it out, closet. It's a little bothersome, but whatever. If it bothers her, he says, it's still in the chair. But I'm wearing it. You know what I'm saying? So I tell her, don't touch it. It says, one other important detail. Towards the end of the evening, turn to wife and say, I have a request to make. Tell me how you would like me to relate to you in a similar future situation. When something bothers you, a candid reply will enlighten the husband for their entire married life, but certainly during the first year of marriage. This is the time to discuss their contrasting natures, to analyze what happened, and arrive at constructive conclusions for dealing effectively in the future. Now, he's saying something very beautiful and nice, but guess what? In our troubled marriages, this is not going to work. Why? Because we have already led our marriage to such crisis that our wife doesn't want to hear us. This is very good for a person who just got married. That's why he says in the first year. Yeah, and you start to be nice to each other. Correct? You speak nice. You don't get. But in our situations that we're married for already 5, 10, 15, 20 years, this woman is badly damaged to the core. Yes, she already has been so beaten up by all of your negative comments, constructive criticisms, and so on and so forth, that you will not be able to have a normal, candid, conversation, as he says. Yeah, sweetie, how do you want me to relate to you if you ever see a problem like that? She will not be able to function like that. So how do we do that? We first repair the relationship, right? By zip the lip with the negative comments. Close your mouth with the constructive criticism. Like legit. Why? It does not work. It will not work. It never worked and will never work. It doesn't work, right? Because they're not going to be able to understand it. Niceness works. But in order to get there, first we have to cold turkey stop all the negativity. Yes, stop all the constructive criticism. Because as long as it's there, a woman is devastated to the core. Yeah, if you want him to listen to you, you practice criticisms, and then slowly, you're going to see that you're going to have actual rapport. You're going to have conversation. You're able to talk to her, and through that talking, you're able to understand what you don't like, what she doesn't like. But when the marriage is not is not solid, these conversations are not going to work. So you have to solidify your marriage. Okay, good. Next, he says, a wise husband who is attentive and finally attuned to his wife's interests and needs, will discover a wife who relies on him completely in every area, is willing to join her destiny with his, is prepared to forego her own plans for his. She'll do everything in her power to fulfill his needs and make him happy. This line needs at least 2 hours of explanation, what he's talking about. You see, a lot of men, my wife doesn't give me respect. My wife doesn't want to do anything that I want to do. My wife doesn't like any of my advice. My wife, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Why? Because like I said right now, 2 minutes ago, the marriage is terrible. She's already filled to the max with all your, criticisms and your constructive criticism. She doesn't want to listen to you. However, he says, again, a wise husband who is attentive and finely tuned to his wife's interests and needs. Yeah, you know exactly what my wife needs. I know that she likes a good word. I know that she likes to go out. I know that she likes me to treat her gently. I know that she likes this, she likes that. And therefore, I'm finally attuned to her needs. And he will do it. Will discover a wife who relies on him completely in every area. I rely on him like Hashem. She thinks you better than Hashem. Why? That's my husband right there. Whatever he says, I'm going to do. Is willing to join her destiny with his. She's saying, I want my destiny to be like his. Wherever he wants to go, I'm going to go. Yeah? Is prepared to forego her own plans in favor of his. I'm not going to go out with my friends. I'm not going to go to my mom's house. I'm not going to speak to my sister. I'm not going to this. I'm not going to that. Why? I love my husband.
Isn't that good?
Very good.
Good.
But none of us do this.
It's too much.
No. You don't understand. Tiniponel, brat, tiniponel. She's willing. Even if you say, sweetie, I need some time for myself. Yes, sir. I'm willing. I'm willing to do whatever he wants. When? When he's a man. See, when he's a man and he knows what I need, I want to do everything for him. She'll do everything in her power to fulfill his needs and make him happy. One more time. That's a Buddha. She will do everything in her power to fulfill his needs and make him happy. When? When he knows how to what? His wife's interests and her needs. When I have fulfilled her interests and I have fulfilled her needs, guess what? She says, I want to be my husband's slave. Legit like that. Anybody who tells me not, he does not know what he's talking about. Why? Because I'm also in the same shoes that all of you are in. I also had very, very terrible marriage. And I worked on it. Till this day, I'm working on it. It never finishes. We have a guy here, he wanted a certificate. He said, I got to mention it because they think also that they deserve a certificate. He says, can I get a certificate that I graduated the course? The rabbi told him, your certificate is going to be waiting for you after 120 years in the grave. Over there, you get 2 certificates. If you manage to live with this wife nice and happy, yeah, and you didn't get divorced, everything is good, you get a certificate to Gan Eden, yeah. If you didn't do that, guess what? You get a certificate to the next world, and over there, guess what? It's infinite Gehinnom, infinite. It's very hard to get out of there. Yeah, that's why it's very important when you're gonna. This beautiful attune. You know, many people that. I read the book. I don't. Nothing interesting. He says, just this one paragraph over here will make your shalom bayit heaven on earth. A wise husband who is attentive and finally attuned to his wife's interests and needs. Yeah, meaning this past Shabbat, I wrote in a group where we have Ben Gabriel. Oh, guys, you as a husband have to find out a way to make your wife and kids happy on Shabbat. Do play games with them, story, shmori, they want to walk, smoke, whatever it is, you have to do it. Why? You're the man. You consider yourself the man, no? I'm in control of my business, no? I'm in control of these, whatever, yeah? I'm gabai, I'm babai, I'm whatever. So therefore, at home, yeah, it's your responsibility to make them excited. Buy candies, buy goods, buy clothing, whatever it is, to try to find their heart. And once you do that, he says, you will discover A wife who relies on him completely in every area. I'm relying on my husband. Why? He knows my needs. Yeah? She's willing to join her destiny to his. Sweetie, what do you want to do? Whatever you want to do, I want to do that. Yeah? She's going to change all her plans. The other day, my wife says, I had the girls went wherever, and she also had to go somewhere. She says, by the way, I just want to tell you that I had to go wherever she said she had to go. She says, but I didn't want to do that. I want to stay home with you. 9 months ago, even if she had no place to go, she would make a place to go. I don't want to sit in front of you.
What did you guys do?
You want me to tell you details?
Yeah.
Later I'll tell you. But I'm saying, and you see, I hear, this Shabbat, no joking, 3 times, I'm not a tea drinker. I don't drink tea. I'm not old Bukharian fart guy, drinks. 3 times she asked me, you want tea? And you know what? On all 3 occasions, I didn't want. You know what I said? Yes, Latzinkai, I want tea. I didn't want tea. At one point, I was reading a book, and the tea is right here. It's on the couch thing, right? On the ledge. And she said, be careful, Shemai. I said, no, don't worry, because I'm talking, and my hands are always like, as everybody knows, my hands are. And she's like, I said, don't worry. I got it. So it's not going to fall. It's not going to fall. But it's on the edge, Finally, after like 10, 15 minutes, she got up. She's like, I'm going to put it on the table for you. She put it over there. 3 times to ask on Shabbat for tea. Did your wife ask you for tea anytime recently?
3 years ago.
Oh, very good. You see, 3 years ago. My wife also never used to ask me. She used to command me sometimes. Мне чай сделай, пожалуйста. And I'd be like,
What am I saying?
yeah, what am I? You got kids over here. You got 2 feet. Get up and do it yourself. No, I'm saying back in the days, right? Now she doesn't ask me. It's beneath her to ask me.
Already.
Why? It's my husband. How could I ask my husband to serve me tea? Let me serve him tea. You want some tea? Like I said, I didn't want. Yes, I want some tea. A wise man told me, whenever your wife asks you something, absolutely, my love, yes. They feel, good about it. If you say no, you know what's gonna happen, right? Even that doesn't care about me. I'm trying to make it better for her. Relax, don't serve me. It's okay. No. Serve me. Why? That's what they want. And this little paragraph of 3-4 lines is very powerful. But when is that powerful? When you're going to be finally attuned to knowing exactly what does my wife need for me to make her happy. What do I have to do to her? If it means get rid of my friends, guess what? Right away. Allo, друзья, братья, sorry. My wife is the most important. This guy. What is it? They call her. Listen, meanwhile, all they are suffering with their wives. Right now you're going to be in cloud 9, happy with a beautiful smile. When was the last time we saw our wife smile? Oh my God. Don't think it's all their excuse. I have a headache, I have stomach ache. All this, you know what it means? My husband is terrible. Every headache, every stomach ache, every this, that. My husband is terrible. Here, we have one guy laughing because he knows it's true. Why are you laughing? That's what it is. And you know what? The secret is, they say that to the rabbi. I don't really have a stomach ache. I don't want to sleep with him. Because he's a terrible guy. He doesn't treat me well. He doesn't excite me. He doesn't know what I need. He doesn't know what I need. What, I gotta tell him? You understand? They're embarrassed to tell their husband, can you please excite me, yo mayo? Mikveh night comes and you know what happens? No. Maybe 4 days later he wakes up. And then he says, I don't know why she doesn't want to be with me. Because you don't make it happen. Make it happen, get excited. Go buy champagne, I don't know, put some, I don't know what it is. Why are you laughing? You should be crying, Ibi.
He's laughing because it's true.
Thursday night, I have a couple.
He's laughing.
She walks in herself. I said, where is the husband?
Walks in where?
No, he
To the
couldn't come.
office.
He couldn't come because of the kids. I said, but what I'm going to do with you? I need him. I don't need you. Okay, we're talking and we talking and she posed and she posed and she posed at the end, she telling me, tonight is my mikveh night.
No.
I said, okay. I said, so what do you want from me? He said, I don't want to go.
Oh.
I can't. I said, why you can't? So she's saying, I'm not a piece of meat. I'm not an object. I said, so don't go. So don't go. Okay. Then she gets up, smiling because I gave her as a stamp.
Don't go.
I'm opening up the door. I see it is outside, inside the car. I said, why you told me it's not here? It's here. He didn't come in. Why? He's a chicken. He knows he is at fault. He knows what I'm going to do to him, right? He doesn't want to hear it. Yes? It means he doesn't want to fix the problem. Right? And it came to a point that his wife don't want to be next to him. Don't touch me. Why are you still in your car, you idiot?
Why she cover up for him?
Ma?
Why she cover up for him? To
She's not. What is she supposed to say? No, she didn't say home with the kids. He's not here. Not here.
Understood, no? But he was outside.
No. She told me he couldn't come.
He couldn't come.
Yeah.
But he was there. Why she?
It means that she's still afraid of him, okay, and so on. But when,
You already threatened her to tell her that I'm not here.
yeah. Yeah.
These are daily occurrences.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he says like this. True story. Several months ago, after his wedding, a young man came to us for counseling. He told us from the beginning that he had no choice but to divorce his wife. Up until now, he said, she treated him nicely, but now she has revealed her true face. She had always tried to comply with his request, even those that may not have been extreme, like spending Shabbat after Shabbat with his parents, without batting an eyelash. Suddenly, she not only started refusing him, even his small requests, but began making selfish demands of her own. Anna, this is the typical response of a woman, right? That people say, no, she's evil. He says she was good. She was going to his parents' house Shabbat after Shabbat without batting an eye, which means, okay. But then she said, no Shabbat, no this, and she even started to go against, right?
Demanding for herself.
Yes, I said to him, you are mistaken. This side of her coming out now is not her true face. Her real desire is to please you and always to have you in her mind. She relied on you to take care of her, and she did everything for your sake. But when you started to realize how selfish you are and how you only have your own interest in mind, she said to herself, if he's not going to think about me, then I have to take care of myself. And that's why they do everything that they do. That's why, no, she stole money, she did this, she did that, she said this, she said... Absolutely. You're right. But who led it to that? Yeah? He says that's when she began behaving altogether differently, even going against her nature in order to protect herself. The nature of a woman, I want to be my husband's slave. Again, like this, right? When I want to do whatever he wants. But when he's going to treat her like garbage, now she's going to have to defend herself. What you must do is return home, banish all thoughts of divorce, and go to the opposite extreme, doing everything for her sake and her benefit. Hold back any personal requests from her for a while, and think only of how I could make her happy. This is the only way you can mend what you have damaged. You hear? He damaged it, and now he's thinking she's that way. He says, no, that's not her true self. She's going against her nature. And every woman is like that. Yeah, we didn't marry a monster. No, she's very nice. Very nice.
We made her.
So, exactly. We're thinking what? We basically built a Frankenstein. Slowly bringing a Frankenstein, and then when she gets up and goes, we're thinking, what is that? You built her. You built her. You built her like this with all your words and all your actions and all your not being careful about what you said and not caring about her and not thinking, how should I make her happy? And right? We are extremely selfish people. I want to be taken care of. Me. It's all about me. You see me? The whole world is for me. Me. I. When I come home, feed me. When I want to go to sleep, leave me alone. When I'm tired, tell the kids to shut up. It's all about, it's me. Take care of me. You know what she's saying? I couldn't care about you. I want you to take care of me. You understand? So therefore, when we do what she needs, she's ready to put everything down and do anything and everything for us. He says, listen carefully to your wife's accusations. Even if you are certain that your wife is at fault and her claims against you are unjustified, listen to what she has to say. Perhaps you will discover to your surprise that she is right. Many times we are not giving the ability for us to just listen to what she's saying. You know, if a person doesn't want to hear something, he's not going to hear it. So I don't want to hear positivity from her. So whatever she's going to be saying, I don't care. It's a negative thing. He goes, but just stop for a second. Listen to what she's saying. She could be right. And you know what? From experience, they're right.
Most of the time.
I always said, no way. The rabbis are wrong. Everybody's wrong. The woman doesn't know what she's saying. She doesn't have a brain. She this, she that, whatever I said. Now I'm sitting, I'm like, wow. It's something that we have to really understand. Yes. Will she be acting not normal? Absolutely. If you don't care about her, she's going to turn around and she's going to do everything opposite you, and she's going to be completely, not logical. And we don't understand what's going on with this individual. But that's because we created her like that. But if we listen to her, if we give her the time, if we understand who she is, you'll see that she's saying the right things. Sweetie, please stop going out with your friends, because she understands it jeopardizes the marriage, jeopardizes the kids, jeopardizes the whole foundation. You understand? If she says, sweetie, please stop drinking. Please stop working so much. Please stop. Yeah? What are we thinking? She doesn't know. She wants the money and she tells me stop working too much. She's not saying you shouldn't. Hashem says don't work too much. Yeah? 6 hours, 8 hours. That's it. You understand? It says over here, admit a mistake and apologize. A man's moral stature can be measured, among other things, by his readiness to admit a mistake and apologize. 100% over here. It says, you know who a real man is? I'm sorry. If Adam Arishon, all he had to do was say, I'm sorry, the whole thing would have been different. What did he say? She did it.
You're the one who gave me that one.
Yeah. However it is. Yeah. So what do? Sometimes we know it's a mistake. We try to mask it over. Why? Chas v'shalom. I'm going to say I made a mistake. He says ego and fear of ego and fear of public censure, make it difficult to admit one's fault and say, I made a mistake and I apologize. I'll try to improve in the future. The more you repeat these words, the easier it will be to say them. Admitting one's error dissolves hard feelings and promotes an atmosphere of contrition. Don't be afraid of being looked down upon your spouse. We are all human and prone to error. On the contrary, one who admits his mistake truthfully is regarded more highly by his fellow man than one who's not. Yeah, and that's very true. When a person stands up and says, you know what, I made a mistake, but I'm going to work on it. He's looked upon completely different. What a gibor. That's a strong man. He says, if you find that your requests, overtures, demands, and needs are being disparaged and ignored, examine your deeds and your conduct towards your spouse. maybe you yourself are the cause of the ongoing treatment. You hear? He says if your wife is not listening to you, she doesn't give a damn about you, she doesn't care what you say. He says, guess who? It's your problem. You're doing something that she doesn't want to listen to you. Finally, he says, sometime has elapsed since you got married. By now you already know what is more important to your spouse, as well as her sensitive points. Instead of trying to change her, why not adapt yourself to them and take them to stride? Begin with those points that mean a lot to her and continue with those that are not as crucial, but can still spark an argument. The resulting tranquility will prove that an all-out effort is worthwhile, especially since once she realizes it, your wife will come towards you in those matters that are very important to you. He says, for us guys who've been already married for a long time, we already know what ticks off our wife, what not. He goes, why not just give in a little bit and not bother that area? He says, you're going to see, what are you going to see? You're going to see the value of the tranquility, which means what? A lot of men still say, no, I gotta tell her that this is wrong, because how is she going to know? I said, yeah, but that's going to cause another week or two of strife. He's like, yeah, but I can't. So imagine, what would you prefer? Tranquility? Peace, quiet, harmony, smiles, this, that, joy, everything? Or because of your stupidity that you have to tell her that this is wrong, that wrong, it's going to be days and maybe weeks of no talking, sadness, no being together, no happiness, kids are upset, this and that. So why? He says, why would you waste time of tranquility just because you want to prove a point? He says, never use information your spouse has revealed to you against her. Many times we fall in this. Yeah, she tells us, when I was growing up like this, like that, or whatever. And then you know what we do? The minute some kind of argument out, we throw this in her face. He says that's the craziest thing you can do. Yeah, to throw in her face what she's revealed to you. He says, don't involve other members of family or outsiders in your difficulties and problems in general. And certainly not in the first year of marriage. Don't let them intrude in your marriage. Entry to a construction site is permitted only to professionals. In this case, only Torah sages or Torah-trained marriage counselors. Yeah? For some reason, we have this idiotic thing where we tell everybody our problems. Our co-workers, our parents, chas v'shalom, our brothers and sisters, our friends. Why? Because we don't want it to sit in our head, because it bothers us. So what do? We start divulging it to everybody.
We cannot talk to our wives, right?
Yeah, we cannot talk to her because it's going to even cause problems, right? So and what do you think she's doing? The same thing. So you guys think, shh. Meanwhile, everybody knows your problems. Yeah? Says, don't do that. He says, a husband who attends Torah lectures every day acquires knowledge, tools, and spiritual strength to deal with difficult situations. So and crises that commonly crop upon in a married life. This is besides the Torah obligation of every Jew to establish a set daily time for Torah study and the importance of doing so. It says you have to set yourself not only time to do regular Torah lectures, but you have to learn about married life. Torah study on a scheduled basis not only illuminates the soul and purifies it, but it makes him a partner in the continued existence of the world. He says it also incorporates the advantage of providing emotional equilibrium from all the pressures of one's day, and in one of the central contributors to marital harmony. Meaning, when you connect to Hashem and you understand that, listen, everything is in Hashem's hands. It's not in our hands. Yeah. When a person learns and understands this, he says you'll be calmed with all your daily things that come up. Torah is likened to a builder's balance tool, indicating the even keel, since it evens out the divergence that can build upon a man's life in the course of the day and as he deals with matters of the material world. As a result of his daily immersion in Torah texts, the mind of a Torah student maintains a correct perspective and clear guidance in achieving a healthy balance in the character makeup. A lot of times we see so many things outside that if we're not attached to the Torah, guess what? Our mind slowly thinks that what? Collective behavior, that everything else outside is normal. Yeah, therefore, It's normal to wear this kind of clothing. It's normal to act like this. It's normal to listen to this kind of music. It's normal to talk this kind of language, yeah? Mamash loose cannon. As a result of his daily immersion in Torah text, the mind of the Torah student maintains a correct perspective. He suddenly discovers in himself powers he never knew he possessed, and marvelous tools for dealing with various situations that surface in one's daily life. Simply as an outcome of setting fixed times to learning Torah, he can build himself a truly blissful marriage and a contented life. So we should all invest, Bezat Hashem, in time to learn Torah, right? Musar, very important, and how to deal with our wives, Bezat Hashem. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen, amen.